Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and I'm very happy to see you here. My name is Soy and I'm a UX designer at Google. The UX job market is so hot right now and I know a lot of you are very interested in getting into UX. So in today's video, I would like to tell my stories of how I became a UX designer as well as sharing some career-changing tips. I'll cover how I got into UX, deciding if UX is right for you, bootcamp versus getting a degree, having a focus in career transitioning, and how to strategically showcase your past experience in the UX portfolio. On my channel, I am dedicated to all things about UX job interviews and product designs. So if you're interested in this content, make sure you hit the bell button and subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss my future videos. I'm also offering one-on-one career coaching to help you nail your next job interview. So if you're looking for more interview advice, want to do a mock interview, or just talk about career development in general, please feel free to use the link down below to book a session. Also, follow me on Instagram if you want to reach out to me or just learn more about what I do outside of work. My Instagram handle is SoyDesign_Picks. If you're into jewelry and fashion and are looking for OOTD inspirations for professional and social occasions, definitely check out SoyDesignPicks.com, a designer jewelry website where you could find fabulous collections of fine jewelry for every occasion. No matter if you're looking to wear jewelry that would make you look professional at work or picking party-ready jewelry, SoyDesign Picks has everything you need. Click on the link down below to check out the store and follow us on Instagram to be the first to know about new limited edition design. Okay, so how I became a UX designer. Both my parents are art history professors, and I have been exposed to art at an early age as I grew up, and that got me to develop a strong interest in studying the influence of visual factors on human interactions. So in my first year at college, I first started off as a landscape architecture major. Back in time, I enjoyed it the most when we did studio classes, learning about how to use design software like InDesign, Illustrator, and Photoshop. And the studio classes inspired me to find out what I truly enjoyed doing. Though my parents had a background in art history and they were originally hoping me to follow their paths, in my freshman year, I gradually realized that I got really obsessed with digital product designs like mobile and website designs because I use digital products on a daily basis and I was always thinking about how to improve the usability of those everyday products in order to make our lives better. So I had a conversation with my parents that I have made up my mind to explore my interest in digital product design. Starting from my sophomore year, I would like to switch my major from landscape architecture to human-computer interaction design. And because I knew that human-computer interaction design is a very practical subject, which required a lot of real-work experience, I've also communicated with my parents that I would like to find a job as soon as I receive a bachelor's or master's degrees. It's likely that in the future, I would not be pursuing a PhD degree in this field. After hearing my thoughts, my parents were very supportive of my decisions, and I felt extremely lucky to always have my parents being supportive, and I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. So starting from my sophomore year, I took a lot of human-computer interaction design courses, and I have been actively looking for UX-related part-time jobs. By incrementally building up my experiences, finally, I landed a front-end engineering internship in the summer after my junior year. Real-work experiences like internship and freelance jobs are very important in the UX industry. Even if they're not directly related to the type of job you have been looking for, they count as real-work experiences and would help you to land your dream job in an easier way. After my internship, I realized that coding was not my favorite, and I would still love to pursue my UX dream after graduation. So in my senior year, I focused a lot on looking for a UX full-time job and building my UX professional network. And eventually, after graduation, I landed my first UX full-time job. So that was my journey of how I first got into UX. I would also love to share some helpful tips of changing careers. First of all, let's figure out whether or not UX is the right fit for you. Yes, the UX job market is very hot and UX designers are in huge demand. But there are a lot of popular jobs out there and we cannot take all of them. So, how do we know whether or not UX is something you would like to commit to as a career?
UX design may be a good fit if you aspire to a creative and analytical position, a problem solving mindset, a decent salary, long term job security, the possibility of freelancing, or just a chance to do something meaningful work that makes the world a better place.
Just by hearing all this great stuff about UX, I'm sure you are very excited and are very motivated to start in UX today. I would also love to share some additional personality traits that a UX designer must develop to give you a full picture of what it means to become a UX designer.
Working UX means you would need to closely collaborate with multiple stakeholders in your day to day. By multiple, I don't just mean the total number of people you would need to work with, but also the cross functional partners you will need to collaborate with. In a typical day of a UX designer, they would need to work with product managers, engineers, other designers, UX writers, UX researchers, data analysts, etc. And you would need to develop different ways of working with different people as everybody specializes in something different. So the best practice of collaborating with cross-functional partners varies a lot.
One of the key traits a UX designer needs to have is to be a good communicator. In a team, one needs the ability to work with people and to convince the team with design proposal with rationales. So being a good communicator is absolutely critical to the success of being in a UX design role. Also, in user testing, a UX designer needs to make sure a participant is comfortable to express their real feedback.
Here are something you could do to develop your communication skills. Find common ground and develop a connection, actively listening, follow up on deadlines and work allocation, assign responsibility and accountability, ask more questions, be genuine, become a better storyteller.
The second career changing topics I would like to discuss about here is whether or not you should get a UX degree or do a UX bootcamp. I've been asked about this question by so many people, so I thought it would be worthy to discuss about it here to help the broader audience. On a high level, I would say that everyone's situation is different. The best strategy of transitioning into UX also varies a lot for everyone. When thinking about what is the best way to change your career to UX, I would recommend you to leverage these factors to help you think.
Money and budget. Getting a degree from school costs more than doing bootcamp or taking online classes. Different people have different budgets for education. First, you will need to figure out whether budget is the hard constraint on how much educational costs you are willing to allocate. Time. Getting a degree from an academic institution takes more time than doing bootcamp or online classes, but spending more time on studying UX and doing UX part-time or internship would better prepare you for looking for a UX full-time job, as you would have a deeper understanding in UX and got more time to build up real-work experiences. How determined you are in terms of changing careers to UX design. If you're still in the exploration stage, I would recommend you to spend less time and money and just get a taste of UX first to see if it's something you would like to work as a job before making a greater commitment. If you have made up your mind and you're quite sure that UX is the career you want to transition to, think about how much time and money you are willing to spend on transitioning and then decide on the best strategy of changing careers to UX.
In general, the more time and money you spend on something, the more likely you'll be able to get it because of the huge commitment you have made. However, if due to certain constraints you don't want to or you cannot spend too much time and money to study UX and then make the career transition, I highly recommend you to gain as much UX real work experience as possible to build up your UX experience first. Because UX jobs requires a lot of past relevant experiences. Any freelance, part-time, or UX internship would set you up for success and they would help you to land a UX full-time job in an easier way. The next topic I would like to cover is, once you decided that UX is the right fit for you, how do you stay focused to build up that UX knowledge and experiences? If you're at school, I would recommend that you take as many UX classes as possible and change your major to UX as early as possible. In my sophomore year, when I was trying to change my major to UX, I remember at the time I basically dropped all the landscape architecture courses, and instead I filled up all my time by taking UX courses. The early transition gave me enough time to study the UX fundamentals, and eventually I graduated with a UX degree. For people who don't have enough time to change major before graduation, here are still a few options you could consider.
Option 1. You could check if your school has a UX minor or a related minor degree, which usually requires taking less UX courses.
I would have to note that a UX minor is not the same as a UX major. If you would like to graduate with a UX minor and still find a UX full-time job after graduation, you would need to gain more UX work experience to find a UX full-time job.
Option number 2. If you have little constraints on money and time, you could consider spending additional time at school to complete UX major studies and get a UX major degree, or apply for a UX master program to get a UX master degree.
Spending more time at school would allow you to gain a deeper understanding of UX fundamentals, and it would also give you more time to look for real UX work experiences. Degrees from academic institutes are recognitions of your professional skills, which would help you to find a UX full-time job in an easier way. The other tip I would like to share is about how do you create a UX portfolio that puts focus on your UX skills. I know there are some mentees who are transitioning into UX from a design-related background like architecture design or interior design. In some of their portfolio, I have seen case studies that's from their previous jobs. I would recommend not to show non-UX case studies on the main page of your portfolio if you're applying for a UX job, because otherwise it would be a little bit confusing from a audience perspective that they don't know whether or not you're applying for UX job or you want to continue to stay in the previous industry. I do want to call out that you could leverage the skills you have developed from your previous job and talk about how you would apply those skills in UX work.
For example, if you were previously an engineer, then you would have a good understanding of how a design proposal could be implemented and how to create a design with tech constraints in mind, while also effectively negotiating for better user experience design. Say, if you were previously an architect, then you have already developed the problem-solving mindset of creating solutions to solve human problems. And this mindset is closely related to how UX designers should do their job.
Leverage the strengths you have developed and talk about how you would apply those strengths and mindset in UX world would help you tell a really engaging story. So this is everything I would like to share with you all today. Thank you so much for watching. If you think this video is helpful, please give it a thumb up. And if you have any topics that you're interested in, or if you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.